Good morning. Okay, coming to you from Venice. What the heck? All right, so last day here on vacation. So let's talk about vacation. Let's think about the 10 best things of vacation. I'm gonna do this right off the top of my head, so it'll come easy as I'm finishing up a 30th wedding anniversary trip. So let's think of the neuroscience of vacation. You know me, Dr. Mary Renzel. Hello, nice to meet you if I haven't met you yet. I love to talk about the neuroscience of finding professional joy and how understanding it, navigating it, kind of like financial planning. You know, how can you get neuroscience planning into place for longevity? Everybody wants longevity. They want to live forever and be young. I'll tell you, the Italians are gorgeous. The Italians are just so, their fashion, the way they hold themselves. Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, so 10 best things. Number one, the rest, right? The rest, you get to sleep. Like we don't have alarm clocks generally. So nice. So what is sleep? So important. Sleep helps the body recover. There's been studies with military groups, and so when they sleep well, they physically can do more, they cognitively can do more and quicker, and they can be more agile, so more emotionally managed. So of course we've all been sleep deprived and yelled at somebody we didn't mean to, and kind of regret it or wonder why we did something. I'll speak for myself. I'm tired. So tired is not my optimal state. So that's number one, definitely sleep. Number two, what about physical? That I'm not sitting at a desk, not my majority of my day. So that's lovely. So I can be more physical. So we're getting, oh my gosh, like one day we walked 11 miles like when we were we're in Italy. So we were just walking and breaking and walking. And so all day long we walked 11 miles. So benefits of vacation, sleep and movement. And then just connecting, just having the time to connect, not always being in a rush, being able to connect with my partner, my hubby, 30 years of marriage, raising 4 kids, just having time to laugh and explore together. That's just priceless. So put in the comments, like, who do you like to travel with? Some people like to travel alone because then they meet people. We have met people on the trip from all over. So it's just fun. It just makes the world smaller. But so sleep, movement, connections, so important, right? And then nutrition, just taking time to sit and eat. So often in our world, we're eating our lunch at our keyboards. Here, I'll show you some beautiful views. The canals, so beautiful. So so nutrition is the next. So we have sleep, we have movement, we have connection, we have nutrition. So neuroscience-wise, why does that even matter? Because our brains need good nutrition throughout the day, right? And they are, the brain, the tissue of the brain is very demanding of our metabolism. And so it takes a lot of our calories, and it takes a lot of our calories and our vitamins. And so it takes almost 20%, even though it's only a couple pounds. Men and women brains are different sizes and they work differently. But anyway, so brains are very metabolically demanding. So they do take a lot of our whatever we eat, So if we're not eating, so a lot of times I'll see I'm busy, I'm gonna skip lunch, I'm busy, I'm gonna skip breakfast because I want to get my work done. It's like, actually flip that on its head, right? So put your head first. So it's, there's a nice saying that says if you look after your brain, it'll look after you. And so it's an interesting kind of meta thought, is that when we do take time to look after our brain, it will actually take care of us, right? Like we talked about that one study, just simply sleeping better gave people better cognitive function, emotional balance, and physical activity. And there was another study looking at just stress. Stress is it can be defined in many ways. I think of it as like things that we cannot control, the things that we think we cannot control. I'll show you this door. Just a lady above a door. Okay, so stresses are things that we cannot control. What can we not control? A lot of things, right? So, like now, so there's boats. I can't control the weather. I can't control the water. I can't control if our planes are on time. I can't control, people walking by. So there's a lot of things I can't control. And that's okay. There's tons of things I can control. So those are things we can control that we just talked about. Sleep, movement, connections, right? So it's important to focus on what we can control. There's some leaders in business who talk about, what we focus on gets larger. So if we're trying to manage something, we're trying to manage our stress, we focus on what we can control. So I can control my learning, my daily activities, me taking a walk this morning, going in a new way. So I'm seeing new things before I leave today. So there's things we can control, and that's stress. So that's the other bonus of vacation, is that there's a lot of things we can control. Vacation doesn't have to be huge, going to Europe. It can be, just a staycation. It can be just the fact that, after work, not truly a vacation, but after work, you just go sit in a park for 5 minutes on your drive home and just give yourself a little time to regroup. I love that. I know a doc that does that before she gets home to her young kids. She just pulls over and sits in a park. Guess what? Another canal. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I don't know what number we're on since I'm walking and talking. Anyway, lots of good things with vacation. The other thing is learning, I would say. So learning is when you do things over and over and your brain makes new pathways or releases a lot of neurochemicals in order to make that thing easier for you. So this vacation, we're learning about the history of Italy in various areas and really world history when we do that. That's really neat. It's very neat to put things together and to see how different cultures focused on had different priorities and different values. And so I'm in Venice now, and for a while they were their own republic, and one of their strong values was justice. And so they had a republic, actually. So they actually voted, but it was an aristocratic republic. So they did have what they called the Doge, which is like their king. So it's interesting how they handled it, is that it was not just one ruler. It was in that king had people that were voted in, and then they had this large hall that they would invite people in. It's almost a lottery system. So sometimes people without a high aristocratic background could get into the government. So it's pretty cool. And then they said one child off the street to help, with the voting, and then that person would get adopted by the king, which was interesting. So then that person would get educated, and their educational system here was more Republican, in that people could get educated depending on your religion. It did not depend on your religion, your background, etc., to some degree. So that was different, and that some cultures only educated their aristocracy, their kings and queens. Oh, we have fishermen. Okay, so learning is the next one, and then just experiencing new things is the next one. So what do we mean by that? Just seeing new things. There's someone fishing. Let's see what they're getting. I don't see anything yet, but they're trying. So, what does that have to do with anything? Well, new things. So we're learning about new cultures, and we're learning about the history. So I'm learning about new food. We ate, oh gosh, I had this one soup, and these little things were floating in there. I wasn't sure what it was. And they were octopus. They were these little baby octopus. I sent a picture to my daughter. She's like, I think it's octopus. So, yes, they were baby octopuses. So, kind of chewy. But just trying new things and learning about new things and learning the language a little bit, teeny bit, is interesting. So yeah, okay, vacation has so many benefits. And then my husband and I were talking about, I didn't really get to 10, but you can fill in the blanks. Just joy, experiences, emotions, and then bringing things home, because then it changes me, you know, when I do see cultures, how they're living and how they're handling things. It helps me think about what's important to me. It makes me think of my values and what do we want to bring home. So my husband and I are like, what do we want to bring home from this? What do we want to do? We're at the empty nest stage of life. So we said, why don't we take more day trips and just have this exploration, you know, concept, and just see new things and just have fun days that we're, you know, having here. Is just so nice, and just put it in the calendar regularly. So that's great. Okay, on this walk, there's just seaweed because the water was high tide last night. So then they have these walkways they put up when it starts to flood in Venice. So now there's just seaweed on the sidewalks, but the water's lower today, which is nice. I'm glad to be here. I'm just walking. I found this beautiful building. Okay, so what are your favorite things about vacation? Why don't you let me know, list it. I'm somewhere in a huge, beautiful building on the corner of something. I wonder if I could keep going. Let's see. See? Huge building. I'm right at the corner. Do you see? See if I can keep going. Oh, I think I can. Okay. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Now we're on the canal. Another canal. Okay, everybody. So yeah, so just DM me, what do you love about vacation? I'd love to hear about it, and how could you put a little bit of it in your everyday. I think the small breaks every day is really important. That's just an important neuroscience thing that we need, just to take a little break in the middle of your day, just to go to your happy place. Here's all the gondolas. I guess this is where they're parked overnight. You see them? Here's the gondolas. Checked in. Oh, there's a gondolier. Just getting started. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being with me, and tell me your favorite vacation site and then how you can bring that into your day-to-day. Because we can sleep. We can make sleep a priority. We can make movement a priority. We can make healthy nutrition a priority. We don't have to wait for vacation to do a lot of these things. We actually can do them regularly. Oh my gosh, let me show you where I am. So pretty. Ready? Whoa. I'm somewhere gorgeous. Okay, we'll keep going. They're all like old churches that they've done different things with. This one looks like, oh, this is the Opera House. Oh, cool. I'm at the Opera House. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day.